Gear up, because this is the Fuel Your Marketing podcast, designed to accelerate sales and grow your business. Let's welcome your host, Arti Sharma.
Hello and welcome to another segment of Fuel Your Marketing podcast. I'm your host, Arti, and today is a very exciting topic. I know that people, kind of run away a different direction when we talk about keyword research because, one, it could be very time consuming, something that doesn't interest you as an entrepreneur or a business owner or even a marketer. And as a marketer, you might be thinking, is keyword research really a thing anymore? But let me tell you, this episode is going to demystify some of the myths around keyword research. So at my own company, Measure Marketing, we have to know what people want from digital marketing agency like us, right? We need to know how you think, how our potential customers think, who they are and what they like and what they dislike. And one of the best ways to key into this are with keyword research. I know, no pun intended here. So what is keyword research? It is about knowing who your customers are, what they want and need, and why do you want to rank for those search phrases? Because eventually you want more leads, you want to have more visibility on the search engines. So essentially, in a simple terminology, I'll say keyword research is the process of finding and analyzing actual search terms that people will enter into search engines to find you. Now, this insight you can get into these actual search terms can help you in a variety of different ways with your digital marketing. It can help your content team to understand what is the intent behind the search term, what kind of content should we produce, what kind of web content, email content, user patterns on social media. And also the content, besides the content strategy, keyword research also allows for you to kind of bring those key phrases maybe in your sales conversations, right? So keyword research is not something that is can be overlooked. It cannot be denied that there is importance in that data that we can get as a result of keyword research analysis. And if you want to rank on the search engines for those intent-based key phrases or conversations that people are having around your product or your service, you definitely want to tap into keyword research. And this episode is all about covering the nuances of how to do keyword research and how to apply that in some fashion in your digital marketing. Okay, so the number one thing that I want to talk about is that using keywords that exactly match a person's search is no longer an important factor, especially in the eyes of search engines, especially Google, right? Rather, it is the intent behind that keyword. It is the intention that the user has, and what is their intent when they're making that search query. That could be a string of multiple keywords in a random order. It could be a simple sentence. It could be a question. It could be just one word. So majority of the times, the intentional-based keywords or intent-based keywords are a few strings tied together. So now this is a critical element when they're looking for in keyword research because it's, as I said, it's not about what exactly matches a person's search. It is about what is their intention and how do you serve your content that really, really kind of solves that intent. And we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. So stay with me. So again, we want to reiterate that keyword research is not something that you can ignore. You definitely want to keep a tab on what kind of keyword searches are happening around your product, your services, your industry to stay in the game and stay on the page of, on the first page of Google as well. So keyword research will essentially, sometimes tell you the intent, but also allows for your content team to sometimes identify topics that people really care about. There are a lot of different tools that we'll be talking about in the segment. So let's take a deep look at different steps that we have outlined that I have. So let's take a look at a variety of different steps that you can take today to kind of, formulate your own intent-based keyword strategy that kind of, supports other digital marketing efforts that you may be having at your company. So the number one thing that I see companies, do and come to us for is that, hey, Arti and team, or hey, Measure Marketing team, I think our users are searching for X because that's what I think that users might be searching for. There's no validation of the data or analytics to prove that this is what people are searching for. So obviously, it's not vetted enough, and I call them feel good keywords, right? That's a feel good keywords, which gives you a mojo when you say, oh, this is exactly what I think my users might be typing and searching for. And sometimes you might be right because you know your customers the best. You know what their pain points are, what could be potential reasons why they need your services. So I don't want to discount that. And that is why the step one is to make a list of keywords you think are the best for your business or your end consumer, or make a list of keywords you desire to be ranked for. Your desired keywords are a good place to start. I mean, at the end of the day, you're so close to your business, you know it the best. So that's the first step. Take a sheet of paper, open an Excel spreadsheet, a Word document, whatever works well for you. For us, Excel spreadsheet works because then we can sort out different keywords. So I'll start with an Excel spreadsheet. Make a list of all the keywords you desire to be ranked for, and just keep and label that sheet as desired keywords, right? Now, the second step that you want to do is, because we know our customers really well, but maybe there is an opportunity. Maybe there is an opportunity to gain a little bit more insights from our customers. So I'm a little old school. When I do my keyword research strategy, I just generally pick up the phone, or over a lunch conversation, I'll just quickly ask them and say, hey, listen, when you're looking for somebody like us or product or services, what are you generally typing in your keyword research, And you will be amazed when you ask your current customers this question, you will have a completely different view sometimes. And that is an enlightenment. That's my aha moment, because I may have not been thinking about those key phrases or those search terms, because I have my own list of desired keywords to be ranked for, right? So reach out to your customers, ask questions, and try to kind of, ask for your potential customers also, maybe through a social channel, just ask and say, when you're looking for a key service of a product and service in this industry or this kind of product or service, what would you typically search for? That makes for a good social post, gives you the data. Sometimes people may be shy to not post it, but at least you can try, right? So inhibit your potential customers as well. And the key is, because if you know what your potential customers would search for your product, now you've got some really solid information to start formulating another layer of your keyword research, right? So what I would do is I would combine this customer and potential customer data into sheet 2, and I would go enter one by one the keyword research that I've done. So the third step for me would be to take all of this golden insight, the gold that I have kind of accumulated with my desired keywords and what my customers are looking for, or potential customers might be looking and searching for, and use a tool to give me a little bit more insights on what is the search volume for these key phrases, right? So one of the tools that you could use is the Google Keyword Planner tool. There is some free tools like Uber Suggest and the KW tool. You could possibly use these tools to go in and enter these keywords to get the average monthly search volume for them, right? So this will also help you find other keywords associated with your overall base keyword list, because what these tools generally do is they also suggest what other key phrases or key terms people might be looking for. And the best way to do is, if you really don't have access to any of the tools, is you'd have to go one by one and put these tools into the search bar. And at the bottom of the page, you will notice that there are other suggestions that Google suggests. And typically what Google would say is, if you go and make a search on Google search bar and say, let's say digital agency, and you'd see that at the bottom of the page, you would notice that there are searches related to digital agency, that Google spits out, which says, what does a digital agency do? Creative agency versus digital agency in a location, right? And so on and so forth. So similarly, make that search on the search, take that keyword and put it in the search bar and go to the bottom, and it'll give you some suggested searches as well. So that's a step 3, right? You've kind of taken those keywords, looked at your keyword search volume, and now what you really want to do is you want to not target all the keywords, because some of those feel-good keywords may not be the intent-based keywords that people are looking for. It was just in our mind, and we felt that these keywords could be garnering a lot more search volume. So now, search volumes of 0 to 50, I mean, I'm not even going to chase those key phrases unless they're highly intentional. And I think that these could be key phrases that when people land on our website searching for, or by placing that search, their likelihood of converting into a customer is very high. And that's something that you would have to formulate a decision on. But I would rather go with a mix of higher search volume keywords, and also look at the competition that these keywords have, because what you definitely want to target terms that the audience is searching for, but again, as I said, it would be more advantageous. So while you definitely want to target terms that your audience is searching for, you really want to look at how much time it will take for you to get ranked for those search terms, because lower search volumes are not good, but highly competitive key phrases are also going to take you longer. So how do we find a good balance? I call them the low-hanging fruits. You need to go after keywords that have moderate search volume and moderate competition. If this is your first time doing the keyword research, or looking at your search engine optimization strategy, or even your paid advertising strategy, because keyword research allows a variety of different search strategies to be impacted. Even to a degree, it impacts your social messaging as well, because hashtags can be used based on keyword research. So the higher search volume for a given keyword or a key phrase, the more work is typically required to achieve those rankings. So in my mind, I want to go with those moderate key phrases with the search volume and moderate competition. Now, many tools give you the search volume and the competition there. Google Keyword Tool also gives you the keyword difficulty index, and that gives you a little bit of a insight as to how difficult it'll be to rank for those keywords. Now, I talked about intent-based key phrases. And in my previous podcasts, I have talked about the voice search, importance of voice search in the upcoming years, and how we're talking to Alexa, we're talking to Siri, right? We're talking to all these bots and these technologies, and we're not just putting one word out there. We're using a sentence to communicate what we're looking for, and that's what we call long-tail keywords. So you don't want to discount the importance of long-tail keywords in your overall keyword research. And long-tail keywords with lower search volume often convert better. So if you have a long tail keyword, which is essentially either a question or string of key phrases together, that's a long tail keyword. And that's if it is a lower search volume and a lower competition, I would rather go with those than highly competitive keywords with low search volumes, right? Or moderate key search volume as well. So long tail keywords are my favorite because now they impact the intent, the mobile searcher behaviors, and getting into those and being able to rank and show my visibility on those key phrases as a business is more important to me for one reason. They often convert better. So again, so don't discount the importance of your mobile searches, the long tail key phrases, and the frequently asked questions. I have talked about that in my voice search for 2020 podcast. So listen to that. We'll put that in the show notes as well. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure, your key phrases are not just based on your customers and your potential customers, but you also want to kind of take an insight and kind of, go and look at your competitors. So doing a competitor analysis always helps. You don't want to be robbing what your competition is doing, but at least you want to make sure that you get a sense of what other searchers and other people in your industry are targeting to get you some ideas, to get some thinking going, right? So let's talk about the 3 steps that we talked about. Number 1 step I mentioned to you is make a list of your desired keywords so far. Reach out to your customers and your potential customers and ask them questions about, what is the one thing or 2 things or searches that they will make to search for your product or service. Enter those keywords into the search tools or research tools. It could be Google Keyword Planner, Ubersuggest, and so many others. SEMrush as a tool as well. So you definitely want to target low-hanging fruit terms and long-tail keywords to have a good repository of key phrases that you want to go after. Now, the most important element is, of course, search. And again, sorry. And then you also want to do a competitive analysis to see that you're not missing out on any important key terms that you haven't thought through or the data hasn't given you enough insights into. Okay. And just to want to reiterate that keyword research should not be just one and done step. It should be something that you should be investing in an ongoing basis. If not monthly, then at least, keyword research should be done every quarter to make sure that you're updating your content. You're always thinking ahead of the game, and you're always trying to be found for those intentional key phrases that people might be looking for. So, searching with intent and user intent is now one of the most important factors that Google and other search engines are giving prominence to. It is one important factor that, depends your content on the intent-based content really allows for you to rank well on search engines. And it also dictates your ability to rank. If you do not have user intent in mind, you might be missing out on a whole lot of, search volume that you could drive to your website. So what is user intent and how does user intent play a role, right? Especially now that Google's kind of making their entire search algorithm very intent-based. And I'll be covering about the neuro-linguistic programming and the artificial intelligence and how's that going to impact search in the coming months in one of the segments in the future very soon. So stay tuned and keep an eye on that episode. But for today, for keyword research, I really want to talk about that keyword research is not an outdated process, but it has definitely evolved. Keyword research tells you what topics people care about. And, I want to make sure that you have the right tools to understand the intent behind a search is critical. And I want to caution you, you need to be extra careful how you interpret the intentional based keywords that you target, because if you're searching the keyword how to build a website for an article you want to create, a website can mean a website conversion, a website for e-commerce, website for a small business. It could be a website on WordPress, So there could be a variety of different ways people could be using their search, and what a searcher's intent is behind that keyword will definitely influence the direction your content will take, right? So knowing a little bit more about that would be certainly very helpful. To verify what a user's intent is in a keyword, it's a good idea to kind of simply enter a key phrase into search engine yourself and see what type of results come up, right? And that will tell you the intention that people have. And again, as I mentioned, go to the last section of the first page where Google gives us some relevant searches that are happening around the topic. So to end the segment, I want to bring your attention to, one of the facets, which is you've now done your keyword research based on your desire list, your competitors, your customer personas, and you made a list of important, relevant key phrases based on what the intent of the key of the searcher is. all you have to do is now kind of match all these key phrases and come up with relevant topics based on what you know about your business and how that can help and solve problems or educate your end consumers. And then go from there, and then that'll lead to your SEO strategy. Or take these key phrases and then, if you're running a paid advertising campaign, to see how can your ad copy or your ad banners or your overall paid ad strategy could be around the user intent, what converts, what will convert, combine that with your Google Analytics data, and kind of create a holistic approach for your campaigns. But again, keyword research is the foundation for everything that you'll do on your SEO or your paid advertising campaign. And this paid advertising could be on Facebook, or it could be on Google, Bing, or LinkedIn. So be sure to put yourself in the shoes of your customers, understand your customer journey, their avatar, and then come up with keywords for each of those topics that you generated, and then go out there and start putting out relevant content. So to demystify and to conclude, I do like a quote to end the segment, which is by Stephen Covey, which is, to change ourselves effectively, we first had to change our perceptions. So you have to ask yourself, how can you hop into the mind of your consumers and change yourself and your business for the better and get those leads you deserve and your business needs? So thank you for listening, and if you like what you heard, please feel free to give us a like, a share, and share it with your network. We'd highly appreciate it. Leave us a review on Google Play, iTunes, or YouTube, and I shall see you at the next segment. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Fuel Your Marketing podcast. For more episodes, visit www.fuelyourmarketing.com.